Robb Leer sitting in tonight for Bob Bruce. Bob is south. It's a tough job down
there.
there.
Talking baseball, we're going to talk some hockey. 4 points back, 13 games to play. Those are the numbers facing the North Stars in Minnesota's ongoing chase of first place Chicago. Over the weekend, the Stars inched closer, able to close the gap to 4 points with victories in Detroit and at home last night against the Los Angeles Kings. The win extended the North Stars' unbeaten streak to 5. The Stars exploded for 8 goals last night over the Kings, 8-3. Big night for a lot of North Stars, including George Ferguson. Fergie scored a pair of goals less than a minute apart in the first period, then added another in the third to pick up a hat trick, his first in Minnesota. A hat trick, too, for Steve Payne. The Stars' left wing now has 29 on the hockey season as the North Stars staged a scoring exhibition last night at the Met Sports Center. No hat trick for Bobby Smith, no, but Bobby did score a goal and add 4 assists, a 5-point night for Smith, who moved into the club scoring lead. No doubt about it, the Stars look to be gaining some momentum and right at the right time. But is it enough? Again last night, the Hawks outgunned another foe, this time the Montreal Canadiens. Denis Savard scored a pair last night. Line-mate Al scored another. Chicago, like the North Stars, started to string together some impressive performances right before the playoffs. The Hockey Gophers have placed a pair of seniors among the top 10 finalists this year for the Hobey Baker Award. Basically, that's the Heisman Trophy of college hockey. The nominees, Scott Bukestad and Butsy Erickson. Bukestad leads the nation in scoring. He picked up his 39th goal of the year last Friday over UMD. Butsy had a big weekend against the Bulldogs, scoring 5 goals as the Gophers advanced to the WCHA Finals. They'll host Wisconsin in the Saturday-Sunday series at Williams Arena. Erickson is right behind Bukestad in the conference scoring race. The winner of this year's Hobey Baker Award to be announced March 27th at the Decathlon Club in Bloomington. Herschel's debut left something to be desired. Former Gopher Mike Hohensee may have won himself a starting job in Washington. And George Allen was a winner just as he was for so many years in the National Football League. The jury is still out on pro football in March, and it will be for some time. But for better or worse, the United States Football League has arrived, and the early returns indicate it could be a success. Some 10 million television viewers turned in on yesterday's grand opening. That's about a third of what the NFL draws on a Sunday in September, while another 200,000 paid their way into the ballpark to see the product in person. 34,000 on hand to see the USFL's $5 million man, Herschel Walker. Even though he did score a touchdown, Herschel did not get off to a great start, though. He was held to 65 yards and 16 carries as his New Jersey Generals were beaten by Los Angeles. Final score 20-15. In Washington, Mike Hohensee played a solid game, but the Federals got beat by the Chicago Blitz 28-7. George Allen made a triumphant return to the nation's capital. Allen, who once coached the Redskins, is now the coach and part owner of the Blitz. Hohensee, by the way, didn't start the game, but he may have earned himself the #1 job after passing for 178 yards. Watch this bullet upcoming. It goes for a touchdown pass, and for Hohensee, not a bad showing for his first pro football game yesterday in Washington. A crowd of 38,000 was on hand for that game. The league averaged a bit less than 41,000 in 5 cities. There's another game tonight in Birmingham. By comparison, interesting here, Vikings drew about 35,000 per game for their first season in Minnesota, so the USFL not off to a bad start. Best crowd, 45,000 plus in Tempe, Arizona, while surprisingly the smallest was the 34,000 on hand to see that Herschel Walker and the much-talked-about $5 million man. Now, keep in mind, the World Football League averaged 43,000 in its first week of operation, and they died soon after that. But the USFL figures to be around for a while. In fact, on the day after the opener, Commissioner Chet Simmons, that is, said the league may award an expansion franchise. They're talking expansion already. They're talking about Pittsburgh within the next couple of weeks. It could go to Edward D. Bartolo, and who knows, expansion already, U.S. Football League off to not a bad start.
March pro football.
Yeah, it's going to be an education.
Doesn't feel right yet. Well, thank you, Rob. Tonight at 10, local research